Hey everybody, Obey the Pie back at you again with another YouTube video. So now we are preparing for rank basically. So I want to make a video basically saying what kind of characters I'm going to play in ranked because we're all going to start at low elo, right? So we're all going to be, I think, at bronze 3, which is the lowest elo in the game for ranked. And I'm just going to say what I'm going to look at playing when I come into ranked elo, right? So I did my 0 MMR to masters, and I kind of did for that one. I did actually a lot of carry. I played a lot of carry. I didn't play as much mid. I did play a lot of countess though. But this time it might be different. You know, we'll see. In reality, whenever you're looking at wanting to carry your game, you can't like play support. You can't play passive characters. You can't play zone-based characters. You need to play very aggressive, high damage, the game changers, right? For those characters. So, we're gonna go into that. So let's start off in mid lane. Who am I gonna look into playing in mid lane? This isn't really gonna be a build, but I'll discuss a little bit of builds. Excuse me, possibly. So yeah. So first person I'm probably gonna look into is Countess. Countess is ridiculously strong. I'm her favorite. I mean, she's my favorite character. She did get beat up actually in the current patch. You have to probably go combustion route on her. You're gonna miss a bit on ability haste. She outputs a ton of damage still, but she has a little bit of trouble compared to where she used to be. So that's why in the tier list I even dropped her. I still think she's gonna be really good for lower level play, but as you probably get into like gold and platinum, she might have a chance of falling off there. But she's gonna be my go-to. My first game is gonna be her, right? It has to be. She's my favorite character. I have to play her first game. So Countess is gonna be solid. After that, I'm gonna look at Morgish. Morgish is straight raw damage. She doesn't have an escape, but she has pretty good mobility. She has really solid clear, a ton of damage. You can see people complaining about her all over Reddit. You know, low elo players. She's gonna be strong all the way up, in my opinion. I think even can enter Grandmaster. You know, master diamond rank easily, in my opinion. And the reason why Gadget, she's zone based. Howitzer, he has burst potential, but if it's behind a wall, the ultimate's kind of useless. He still has to count a lot on his E to allow for escape and allow for pressure. I don't see Howitzer being that good for hard carry potential. Iggy, very zone based. I'm gonna ignore him. Yeah, that's basically it. Does a lot of damage, but very zone based. Very has to be in the position for it. If the team doesn't have any position, he's kind of useless. Faye, insane ultimate. I don't think low elo is gonna build to counter it. Even if they really do, I think that Faye is still gonna punish really easily. Really good rotations, really good clear, a ton of damage. So she's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna definitely count on her. Gideon, Gideon is really strong. The only con I have with Gideon is that, right, he's a lot of skill shot based. I just feel like the other characters are a tad bit on the easier side, where you can solo out and output so much damage by yourself. And Gideon is in the same way, but if you have like a turbo duo lane, I think we kind of fall off a bit on Gideon having to get to their carry and, you know, beat them up. If I get to a point where I feel like my teammates are thinking of having a brain, right, then I'll throw in Gideon. I like Gideon. I think he's really strong. It's just that, once again, these guys output so much damage with very minimal skill that Gideon is going to be on there when I'm first pick probably, and I don't know if they're going to counter me at higher level play, but definitely higher level play, it's Gideon. Gideon's going to be king in higher level play. Belika's really strong, but very dependent on that Q. Has an escape off of the Q, you know, applying it on the jungler and all that, but I just don't feel like her carry potential is as heavy as the other characters. Wraith is really strong, but just a lot of skill shot based, right? Single target, doesn't have, you know, the type of burst potential I want to say that Countess, Morgish, and Faye have, right? Argus, really strong as well, but he kind of falls off because if people don't know how to play around your stun, like jungler doesn't come to your lane all the time when you have stun up and he has ult up. I mean, Argus is so easy to get kills on. It's just that he is a zone-based character, right? I just find him, he's a once you get past gold, start playing him to carry games, in my opinion. Once again, right? We got to think of the times when people don't have brains. So let's go into, can I press, just type in carry here? So carry. So these are the type of, what is this? Why is Rampage here as carry? So the type of carries that I'm going to look at playing, Drongo is phenomenal. He applies shreds, right? So that's already really strong. We're going to help your team. And he also does percent HP. He does a lot of damage. He's just he provides some CC. He's just really good. So he's definitely one of my top picks for carry. Twin Blast, really easy to farm with him. Got a little bit slightly beat up this patch, but really strong. I'm gonna add him into my list. Revenant's useless. Yeah, I mean he does a lot of damage, but he can get caught out easily. He needs that peel even with his ultimate. He can get beat up. Grim, extremely strong character right now. If they keep him like this, definitely adding him into my list for carry. So it's a very situational overall. You can even play him mid. You can also play Twin Blast mid, like pretty easily. Murdoch, really strong carry, but I just think that there's just better carries from the lower elo to play from. So like good. I think all carries are actually really phenomenal. It's just that there's better carries. So I'm going to put Murdoch a bit on the side. Might play him to change some things up. Sparrow, ridiculously strong, but I honestly just find Sparrow boring, that I may not play her simply because she's boring. And we don't know what kind of nerf we might get, later down the line where it makes Sparrow kind of useless, right? Kira. So Kira outputs a ton of damage. She got the slight nerf on her, just her passive. But she's really good. She has an escape. Her ultimate's a little bit useless, but she scales really hard and someone that you should consider, right? But like I said, I'm gonna favor the Drongo, Twin Blast, Grim a majority of my games. If I'm just kind of bored, I might switch off into Murdoch, Sparrow, or Kira. That's just how I am. As much as I care about the ranked or and the meta and all this stuff, it's just a little bit on that. It's like I said, Twin Blast is just easy farm. It's so easy to farm with Twin Blast. If I have a terrible support and I don't know who that support is, I might just play Twin Blast so I can keep my farm up, right? So that's it for the carries. Let's take a look at the jungle. So let's see here. So for jungle, yeah, I know you guys haven't really seen me play too much jungle personally. We have a page here, so we'll see. So Countess jungle. Now remember, I am a mid and carry player, so I do not expect to do as well in all the rest of these roles. These are just roles that will just keep me even. Some of them I can play really well, right? But it's just to keep me even and not feed. That's basically what I play for the roles that aren't my role. Because I don't care about getting better at those roles. I'm not trying to be a pro here, right? But we'll discuss them. So Countess jungle can be really good, really strong ganks. Falls off though when it comes to taking objectives and what the meta is for junglers right now. You want to put the CC/durability/bruisers in the jungle. So it's a little tough in my opinion to take a Countess jungle. You're gonna lose out on some engage, on some CC, right? Fang Mao, if Fang Mao gets really strong fed, he can cook. I'm not the best Fang Mao player, so I may avoid him. So I ignore her. I can play a pretty mean Kalari at low elo and up. So she'll probably be on my kit for someone to look at. So Countess, I can play her, but not someone I'm going to look for. Kalari, I can play her as well. Not someone I'm going to look for unless I see a squishy team. Then I'm going to be very comfortable playing her. Rampage is just someone who has a really good stun. So I'm probably, if I have it, if let's talk about who I'm going to play jungle. Chimera. I'm going to play Chimera jungle. He's my number one jungler. If he's banned, I could look into playing Rampage. Although people on stream may have not seen me play Rampage. He's just too basic. Like I can hit his rocks pretty easily. I can tank with him. I can do some damage with him. He has pretty good clear. So, Chimera is going to be my first one. Then I'm going to look into Rampage to provide that being a tank basically. Grux kind of got a little stronger when it comes into jungle. Kind of falls off though with just this level of engage. I would kind of personally avoid him. So all other ones are just they just miss out on CC. Crunch is really good. Let's talk about Crunch. Really strong character. I could play him and do relatively well with him, so I may add him into my list. So for jungle right now, in terms of this page, I would look at the Chimera, Rampage, Crunch for my list on this page so far, and those can also be played in the off lane as well. Crunch can. Greystone's really good, really annoying. The con is he doesn't really have CC. So I would still add him into my list being the not so great player. I should look at getting better at Zarus. I don't play him properly. I don't play him that much. He's ridiculously strong. And same thing with Kwang. He's ridiculously strong as well. If anything, if I have to improve and I see myself getting jungle very often, I may try to learn these two characters. Aurora and Sereth. Sereth, a lot of damage output, but just not that much CC. If you don't have a CC, you're not going to really have a solid, strong engage, right? Zarus is a pretty good engage. Kwang has a pretty decent engage. Aurora has a good engage as well. I haven't played her that much. She feels clunky to me. I just don't feel like playing her. But Greystone would be another person I add into my list, and I'd also add Greystone to my offlane list. So let's go to offlane now. Who am I going to play in offlane? Now, there's someone they didn't add in, which was Steel. I would play Steel jungle. It'd be absolutely miserable and horrible, but late game, it would scale really well. So my offlane picks, y'all see it on stream, Steel. Steel is going to be number 1. Then I'd probably throw in Greystone. And then off of that, I really don't see anyone banning or picking like these two characters very often. I can play a Crunch pretty safe and then look for engages once you get into late game. So it'd be like a Steel, Greystone, and Crunch. And then I can play a Kwang, although I don't say I'm really that great with him. I could play a Kwang as well. Just has some pretty good escape, pretty good sustain. Might look at adding Aurora to my list as well. Just because I think her CC and her engage is actually pretty strong. So I may look into adding her. She's a little bit like boring and clunky, but I may learn in the future to learn about Aurora. She should be pretty solid. And once again, in low elo, I may still play Countess in the offlane and whatnot because people aren't gonna be. They're not gonna be that great. So I can still play those characters, but these are just things that if I'm in higher level play, what am I gonna play? So we did that. Now let's talk about supports. Now supports are going to be really weird because I may not really play any of the support heroes listed here. Let's see. So like I said, if I play these supports, they're not really going to output as much damage. The Bellica is going to output damage. Steel is just going to be really darn useful. So out of the actual support picks, I would play Bellica and Steel. Those would be my main ones. I need to play aggressive. I need to carry the game. So Bellica is going to be key. Steel just does such a good job being such a nuisance and annoying that I think I could still carry with a Steel. But I'm going to be playing Argus and Howie support. Like those are going to be... We're going to go into the mid laners. It's going to be Argus and Howitzer. They provide a lot of poke. I'm going to build them a little bit different. They're definitely going to be more focused on building time warp. So that way I'm having more time for stuns, more time for CC, more time for poke, getting my E faster on Howitzer, or my my secondary ability on Howitzer. But that's basically what I'd be looking at. Howitzer, Bellica, Argus, my main supports. I'm going to be building damage on them. So this is overall my ranked pick. This is what I'm going to decide to choose for ranked. So we got 2 more days. It's Thursday. So this is basically what I'm going to be looking at. So let me know what you guys are going to pick for your rank. Do you guys like this type of list? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about when I make a list like this? Because these are what I think are the best characters to climb from low elo and up, right? Because a lot of people aren't going to understand that type of playstyle. They're not going to think about a lot of the things that you're going to do, especially early on. There's a lot of new players. Once you get into the platinum and diamond, we'll probably see stuff like we'll see stuff where you can't really take Faye out because you're going to have people building reclamation and a lot of cleanse, and they're going to time it so well and so perfectly. But overall, they're going to be very strong picks in my opinion for climbing out easily into master, like diamond or master level, definitely into platinum. If there's any, if we take Omega City rank into consideration, it should be pretty darn easy to get into plat, in my opinion, by picking these characters. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think. If you guys like the video, if you guys want more of this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it does help me out, and you guys will be able to see any new videos that I make. But yeah, on that note, take it easy, have a good one, good luck on your games, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.